there might be some big news for Jay-Z and Beyonce. They're saying that they may be expecting another baby. Interesting reaction. Well, they were in concert over the weekend, and Jay-Z changed the lyrics to a particular song and inserted, she's pregnant with another one. But here's my thought, okay? I think that Jay-Z and Beyonce are master manipulators of the media. And I also think, yeah. And I think that they are to the point, they will manipulate almost anything. Like, I think it's bad karma to lie about the state of your marriage. Or, you know, I wouldn't even say, you know, I missed work because my son is sick, if he's really not sick, because that just puts a bad karma on you, you know what I mean? Do I think they're pregnant? Probably not. Not for lack of trying, but just because, you know, he changed those words to the lyrics just to get us talking, and so we're talking. You know what I do think, though? I do think that they've announced this to stay in our eyes so that we all watch on Saturday night the HBO On the Run special. You see what I'm saying? They had... The cameras were following them for this whole, you know, On the Run tour, backstage, on stage, and, you know, everything. And so that comes on Saturday, and I don't believe that they need to say something or you know, hedge that they're pregnant or whatever, because people who will watch, and people who won't. As a side note, though, you know, Beyonce's father, Matthew Knowles, he's still shiny. But he is shiny. Matthew, everybody says that that the divorce rumors were a ploy to sell concert tickets. Matthew also said on a radio show that elevator attack, thank you, with Solange and Jay-Z was all set up to sell tickets for the concert. Yeah, now don't you feel ripped off when when some of your favorite people lie to you about such blatant stuff? Like, they wouldn't have had to do any of that if this is all lies, for us to either love their music or not. Now you kind of look at them like scoundrels. What won't you do for that damn career? Well, look, do I think that their marriage may be in trouble? I think that all married people go through spots where their marriage is in trouble. Do I think that, you know, touring the world is exasperating everything? Yes. I don't even think that they sleep in the same suite or in the same hotel. I bet you there's such separation that she sleeps down the street at one hotel, he sleeps up the street at one hotel. He's probably jealous because her dressing room door is closer to the stage than his. Like, you know, Jay-Z is a good guy, you know, in terms of the music, but he's not as good as Beyonce in terms of what the world at large thinks. And I've had the whole summer to think about this, and I don't think that they will ever get a divorce. You know why? Because it'll look bad for him. All of his guys and guys around the world are going to be like, how could you lose that? Now, you show me a beautiful woman who's talented, and I'll show you a guy who thinks she's a pain in the behind. And that's just how it is, you know? But I think that her divorce, at this particular point, why divorce him? Baby Blue is here, have a couple more kids. Kids don't save marriages, but they live in a unique situation that you and I don't get a chance to experience. You know, when you're married to rock stars, you got plenty of time to have a man in every port. Yeah. So why do you need a divorce? You know, anytime you want to get your thing on, you know, in that disgusting world of rock stardom, you know, he can say he's touring, or she can say, I'm going on vacation with my mom, or whatever. And so, I don't know. I root for marriage. Their marriage is weird, though. Interesting and weird. And nothing that we should emulate, because we have to sleep next to our spouses every night. And when we fight, we divide the covers and say, don't touch me, right? Okay, let's talk about Beyonce. Well, there's a thigh gap scandal going on. You know the thigh gap, that gap between the thighs. It's very difficult to achieve, no matter how much weight you lose. She posted a picture of her on vacation with her family in Italy. And this is supposed to be a picture randomly, you know, that she put on Instagram, except for upon closer observation, and hold on before we change the, yeah, there we go. Do you see the waving of the floor? That's the evidence of the photoshopping. You know, people try to thin themselves out. I mean, you understand what I'm saying. A lot of people aren't familiar that photoshopping is available now on cell phones. And everybody's doing it. Regular people are doing it. Kim K is notorious for it. Beyonce has become notorious for it. You know, the girl next door to you probably photoshops as well. I don't know that I can Photoshop on my phone. I just don't have that time of day. If I don't like a picture, I'm not gonna put it on my Instagram. You know, and who has time to notice a Photoshop picture all day? You know? Would that even occur to you to look at a picture closer to see if it's photoshopped? I think that's more of like a younger generation thing. Like if you're 25 and older, you all are familiar with squinting and looking and criticizing. I have a producer here who's obsessed with Beyonce and is very, very, this is a grown woman, by the way. She's very, very upset that Beyonce would do this photoshopping. I mean, she's devastated. I'm just like, are you serious? Now, maybe if a 9-year-old girl saw this, she'd be upset because, you know, 9-year-olds, their minds are still being shaped and they believe all the skinniness they see in magazines and they you know, their minds. But Photoshop, schmotoshop, look, I don't care whether you Photoshop, airbrush, or lip sync. It's all gonna come out in the wash. You know, like when the tape breaks or the DJ passes out and all of a sudden, listen, and you know how sometimes that happens and you're just left to continue singing on the stage. The proof is in the pudding, you know? You can Photoshop pictures of yourself all you want, but when people see you in person, they're gonna see the real you. Like for me personally, and I think I've shared this with you before, people always tell me I look better in person than I do on TV and in pictures. And you know what? And I take that as a compliment because I'm only on TV an hour a day. The other 23 hours, I gotta live with this. By the way, Beyonce is wearing something that I just got because my Suzanne gave it to me. The tattoo, see it on her shin? And see it going down here? It's a tattoo. Suzanne, show them yours. Yeah, okay. And so these are these new tattoos. Like if you want to be young and cool, this is what you do. You get these temporary tattoos. They come in metallics and you put it on. Suzanne has to teach me how to put it on, then that's what I'm gonna do over the weekend. I'll be all tatted up by Monday. Yeah! Anyway, let's move along. Move along to Beyonce and Jay-Z. Well, they are doing their best to save their rocky marriage, if that's what you want to call it. Because I'm on the fence about the elevator attack and, you know, was it real or fake or whatnot. I just, you know, we were talking about them the other day regarding all the, you know, how they manipulate the media for the purpose of ticket sales and money, which is not right. But anyway, they reportedly had a vow renewal ceremony while they were on their vacation. You know, I don't like vow renewal. Vowel. Wait, that would be Wheel of Fortune. I meant vow. I don't like renewals of vows because I just think, you know, you do it once and that's it. And I also think it's corny. Unless, and I don't think I ever explained to you the unless you've been through something really horrible, like really horrible fighting. You move out of the house, you're, you know, gone for 3 months, or you're in prison and you get back out and you promise your wife you'll never do it again, and then you renew your vows or something like that. So anyway, I don't know the purpose behind this vow renewal. But they did it, and they did it on a boat, and her mom was there, Tina, and reportedly they're going to be working on an album together, and I guess that'll be more touring. What I want them to do is just have a seat for a moment. Just for a moment. I mean, you know, when the On the Run tour is over, I think that they should take Baby Blue and get on a boat someplace and sail far, far away and renew, I don't know, home life or something. she's already approaching legendary status to me. Or she, not approaching, no, she's there. You would want to see Beyonce on stage in Vegas when she's 55 years old, wouldn't you? Yeah, yeah. If she disappeared from the spotlight right now for a year, say they sailed around the world for a year, you'd be here for her when she comes back, right? And you'd be here for Jay-Z too, right? Oh. Well, Beyonce, maybe you sail. Jay, you stay here and do work.
All right, it's official. Beyonce's father, Matthew Knowles, does have that secret love child. Actually, he has two, but there was one woman, her name is Takoya. You remember Takoya? Oh, you remember. Takoya. Let's put the nice picture back up. Sorry, girl, but that, you know, you put that picture out there, so somebody's got to look at it. It might as well be us. Anyway, a woman named Takoya down here at the bottom, she recently claimed that Matthew Knowles fathered her 4-year-old daughter. Remember, we talked about this last season here on the show. And well, you know, Matthew took a DNA test, and it shows that he's 99.9998 certain to be the little boy's father. Well, Takoya's son is 4. Now remember, he's got a 5-year-old, or Takoya's son is 5, and then Takoya's daughter is 4, and then Nixon, the out-of-wedlock son, is 5. So that means that baby Blue has an aunt and an uncle. Takoya, everybody, is now expected to sue Matthew for child support. Matthew's child support to little Nixon up here was recently cut because he can't afford it. He was paying something, well, the court ordered him to pay something like $12,000 a month, and that's been reduced down to $2,400 a month. And you know, it's just a real shame that Matthew is not able to take care of his children. And what's even more of a shame to me is that he does not have a job to keep him in the lifestyle that he'd become accustomed, you know, when he was his daughter's manager, because Beyonce went on to become all of that greatness, but that happened because of the push, support, and smarts of people named Mom and Dad. And Matthew Knowles, but why isn't he music moguling the situation across town in some corner office with a fabulous view and an oak desk? You know, like, why do we see him being like ghetto in child support court over some mess? I just think that he's too smart for that. He's not just some dad. He's the one who made Beyonce who she is.
Let's talk about Beyonce's bangs. Because, look, we've all had bad hair days. It's just very... I'll tell you, in this picture right here, it doesn't even look like the bangs are part of the wig or the weave. It looks like they're like clip-on bangs. And if it's a wig, it looks like she just maybe needs to pull it down a little bit. Like if she just pulls it down a little bit. I mean, still a very beautiful woman, but it's refreshing to know that even she can have a bad day. So, you know, with social media, people can't keep their opinions to themselves. Here's what they said about Beyonce. Everyone's outraged because Beyonce got super short bangs. I, for one, think Blue Ivy did a great job. Another fan says, let's all have a prayer service for Beyonce's bangs. But I'll tell you, you know, she's out. Apparently Jay doesn't like him either. He looks mean. And he's got his fist is balled up. No, but you know what? She's wearing them with a smile. And I think that people should feel comfortable in trying new things, just trying new things sometimes. It doesn't always work. Listen, sometimes I sit in the house, I'll pull out a wig and take the scissors to it or start dyeing it or something, and then I'll put it on and I'll want to maybe go over to Dunkin' Donuts or go get my nails done, like in our town, just to look at my reflection in the glass to figure out whether I like it or not to wear even more. I mean, she went way far out of the house with this one. You're only supposed to go like up to Walmart or something. You're not supposed to go out on the town with a brand new wig, but apparently she feels comfortable. They're over in London. We have another picture of her with the wig. Show the one with the red checker. No, no, not that one. That one. She looks cute there, right? It looks like she might have taken a little curling iron and beveled it under. You know, she did something different with her lipstick and maybe a little flat iron on the side. They don't look great, but I'm just trying to say something nice. Oh, it was Inside Edition? Well, shout out to the insider, but it was Inside Edition that revealed this. Okay, look. With Deborah Norville. Okay, look. So, yes, yes. Oh, they put the words up before I could tell you. Look, Beyonce's secret little sister is being revealed to the world. Matthew Knowles, baby's mother, Takoya. You know Takoya. No, you know Takoya. Anyway, Takoya spoke out for the very first time yesterday on Inside Edition with Deborah Norville. And Takoya's ready for her daughter to meet her big sister, Beyonce. Just take a look at this footage, and then I'll break down the rest.
Now, in this Inside Edition exclusive, Takoya Branscombe speaks out about her affair with Matthew Knowles and introduces their love child to the world.
Mommy loves you.
I love you too.
I slept with a married man and it was the wrong thing to do. But I have a beautiful daughter that came out of the situation.
A daughter who she hopes will someday meet her big sister, Beyonce.
Hey, they're half sisters. And maybe one day down the line, that can be made possible.
Their reaction is just like mine, lukewarm. Something opportunistic about this entire situation? I don't like it one bit. Matthew, this is your fault. This is your fault. Okay. What we didn't show you, but the rest of the clip did on Inside Edition, the little girl said that she loves her big sister Beyonce's music and then started doing the single ladies dance on the front lawn. Yes. And the little girl, she apparently is in some sort of grooming to be like a singer or something like that one day eventually. They already have her. Yes, yes, exactly. Now, here's my thought. If I were Beyonce, I don't care about meeting this little girl until we can meet on our own terms without the opportunistic mother in the picture. And that would mean waiting until the little girl turns 17 and gets her driver's license or has a Metro card or something and is able to get on the public transportation and moved out of the mother's house because she lives in a dorm someplace at the University of Florida or something, you know, where the mother, opportunistic, doesn't have to be involved. That's all. And I don't like the idea of the mom stepping over Matthew to get to Beyonce. Why don't you, Takoya, concentrate on making sure Matthew gives you your pay money and making sure the little girl has a relationship with her father and leave Beyonce out of it. So Beyonce was trying to trick us again. Well, she was trying to, I guess, surprise us with another one of those albums. Not the one that she's making with her husband, but a Beyonce album. But somebody in her camp leaked the memo on social media. See, there's all the details. Heads will roll. Heads will roll. The memo claims that the deluxe album will drop next Friday. It's going to have all the old music from her past album, and then a couple of new songs and some remixes. I think like Justin Timberlake's going to be on the album, and you know, some other people. So in other words, for those of you, yeah, Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, they're all going to be on the album. So for those of you, but for those of you who bought the album that she downloaded that just came out, you know, that surprise album. So now, are you really that invested in Beyonce? You have that much money, you're gonna buy another? Okay, all right, just asking. Just asking. Calm down, Beehive. Anyway, Brendan, what are you doing? Is that it? Why are you waving at me? Oh, well, where's your sign that says 30 seconds? I need my old floor manager, Doug. Doug, please come back from the Country Music Awards. No, Brendan. Matthew Knowles' baby's mother, Takoya, is happy to be in the Knowles family. Now, before I talk, let me just say one thing. I mean, I am talking, so wait. Before I tell you the story, let me just say one thing. I don't know whether you recall when I first introduced you to Takoya, saying that, you know, she has his love child, his second love child. And he wasn't paying child support. And I was saying, oh, you know, this is all Matthew's fault. We're always so quick to blame the woman. Yes, the woman knew that Matthew was a married man, but you know how men are. Oh, I'm not happy with my wife. You know, selling women a bill of goods. And then next thing you know, they're rolling around in the bed, the girl is pregnant. And I was sticking up for her. Like, you know, this is not her fault. Well, Matthew and Tina are now separated, going to divorce. And there's a baby that came out of this relationship. And the little girl is now 4 years old. Well, the judge, okay, ordered Matthew, this just recently happened, to pay her $1,500 a month in child support. And Takoya took a selfie in court, and there's her selfie. Takoya has also given her daughter Coy Michael, that's a middle name, Michael, the Knowles last name. Well, at first I was like, okay, well, there's nothing wrong with that, you know? I mean, it's not her fault that the Knowles last name is a Knowles, until I was reminded by my Hot Topics team, are you ready for this gagulation? Matthew has never even met the little girl. Exactly. So in that case, why would you give the Knowles last name? And, you know, the little girl was on the front lawn doing the single ladies dance the other day on The Insider. And the little girl, mom has set up a whole Instagram, Facebook page for the little girl. They look like professionally shot pictures of, you know, her doing, you know, moving and acting and, I don't like this. Takoya, I liked her in the beginning. I was sticking up for her, but now I see she's nothing but an opportunist. And Takoya, I don't know what kind of Knowles name you're going to capitalize on, because Matthew Knowles' name in the music business is similar to Joe Jackson, the father that spiraled out of control that the children want very little to do with. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I'm sure your daughter is very, very beautiful, but if you think that she's going to get a big record deal and be played on Z100 and everything, that's not going to happen. Only because you and her father have tainted her already in terms of the public spotlight. I think that Coy Michael Knowles will be able to perform at the state fair. No, listen. I think that, you know, if she tried out for American Idol, you know, the kids edition, they would humor her and have her on, you know, but I think that she's tainted because of the way in which she was conceived and because her sister is the queen of the universe. Beyonce is. And how do you introduce Coy Michael Knowles? Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Beyonce's dad's love child, Coy. Well, it's a sad day around here. Because Beyonce is no longer the most popular person on the internet. Look, she's number 2. No, I know. There's a Beehive here talking about, excuse me. She's no longer the most popular person. She's now number 2. But what's gonna piss you off is who's number 1. Kim! Why am I so giggly? Look, well, Beyonce was number 1 last year, so you got to give somebody else a turn. You can give somebody else a turn, but just not Kim? Yeah. Well, here's why I think Kim deserves this. And don't get used to me sticking up for the Kardashians. However, you know, I like to be an equal opportunity judger. All right, Kim broke the internet with the vajayjay pictures, okay? She also has that cute baby that she trots around town. I'm just saying, you guys, she is the most searched body by, I'm sure, not just men, but women too. Women, even though you want to say you hate, there's many of you who pattern your entire look after this girl. Please don't front. Also, you know, what else? Oh, she was on Vogue, the Anna Wintour, right? And she went to the Met Gala. No. Was that this year? Yes. Yes. She got married to that madman. And whether you like her or hate her, if you've Googled her, then you're a part of the reason that she's the #1 most searched person in the world. Now, fair is fair. And then Beyonce, even though they got in that epic fight in the elevator and there were rumors of divorce and whatnot, Beyonce just couldn't trump your search for Kim. But, well, then stop Googling her. I think that Kim is over Beyonce too, by the way. I was talking about this in my Hot Topics meeting this morning, and everybody agreed after I said, you know, after I explained. You know how, like, she was all up Beyonce's booty trying to get her to go to the wedding, and you know, we always were reading and seeing reports about Kim desperately wants to forge a relationship with Beyonce and wants their kids to play together and wants the four of them to be able to go out and do things together at the restaurant or whatever, or St. Bart's, you know, the way the rich travel. Kim did so much begging only for Beyonce to stand her up with the place cards at the wedding. Yes! Like, I know. Who does that? Well, Beyonce apparently and Jay-Z did. Remember, they didn't show up to the wedding, and their show-upness did not happen until the last minute. The place cards were, like, made out of marble or some... No. They weren't like cards that you just tear up like at your wedding, you know? That wasn't meant to be a read. It just means that that's why they call them place cards, because they're made of paper. Anyway, they were like made of marble, and so they tried to etch Jay-Z and Beyonce's name out of the marble, but it wasn't etchable. And then the guests at the wedding talked to the magazines, and that's how we found out. So even with all that stuff, I think that Kim is finally over Beyonce. Like, she doesn't care about being a friend. She doesn't care about the four of them going on vacation. And most importantly, she won the Google search. Now let's compare them even further. Come on, you know how we do. Beyonce's net worth is $450 million. Kim is worth $65 million. Jay-Z is worth $560 million. Kanye is worth a paltry $130 million. Both girls are award winners. Beyonce has 17 Grammys, and Kim, oh. Lady in the front row with this red and gold dress, I just adore. Can you stand up? Look at her outfit. I love that. I love that. You look really cute. Thank you, and happy holiday, clearly. And Kim has 4 Teen Choice Awards. An award is an award. Either way, I'm sure it's a very, very sad day for Beyonce, because you know she prides herself in having talent, and many of you pride yourselves in saying that Kim has no talent. But I venture to say, yes, she does. Her talent is getting you to pay attention, and that's why she wins this year for the most Googled person. Beyonce had you all talking all weekend. Because I didn't buy into it. She posted this picture and has everybody talking about, is this bump right here a baby bump announcing pregnancy? And I said, well, it could be announcing breast reconstructive surgery. I don't know what this is announcing, but I always did like being buried in the sand. Do you like that? I love that. Like, I just love that. Anyway, do you think she's pregnant? Clap if you do. So the majority of you did not fall for it. Do you think that she is manipulating the media like she always does?
So do I. You know, here's my thought. You know, she does not tweet, Facebook, that whole bit. Her whole form of communicating with you and her super fans called the Beehives is through pictures. And that's the way everybody likes to look at Beyonce. It's great. You know, she's not the best talker, so it's best that she I've told you before, and I'll say it again. If you hear her talk, you're gonna need closed captioning on your TV. I bet you if Amy Pollard and Tina Fey said that, you wouldn't be, oh. All of a sudden, I say something, oh. Anyway, I don't know whether she's pregnant or not. If she is, congratulations. If she's not, fine. I don't feel as though she owes it to us to say that she's pregnant, but because she's got these super fans, you know, who live and have no lives outside of her, maybe she owes. Well, I'm saying, I know I ain't lying. I read your lips. You know, like you can be a fan of somebody's, but when you become obsessive, it's like, it's borderlining weird. So, you know, there are people who have fans, like say George Clooney has regular fans, but Beyonce has regular fans like some of you, but then she's got those super fans who live, die, and cry by her. So maybe she should say something. The thing I love about pregnancy is that you can't keep it a secret for long, right? So I guess this is just a wait and see thing, a wait and see. In the meantime, Beyonce is manipulating you all again. Let's talk about something else. Now, I don't know whether this is beef being squashed or whether this is the girls putting up with one another. I suspect this is the girls putting up with one another. Apparently, there was a double date going on. Kim and Kanye and Jay-Z and Beyonce. I know. This is not what they wore on the dates, by the way. These are just pictures. But anyway, remember it was Jay-Z and Beyonce who last minute did not show up to Kim and Kanye's wedding when the place card was already etched in marble right there. Remember I was telling you, so it's not like they were able to just pick up a place card, rip it up, and replace it with somebody else. I mean, there was egg on their face because there's empty seats there. Anyway, they were spotted having dinner together in LA. Now, they got there around 12:30 at night and closed the restaurant at 2:30 in the morning. 2 hours for a dinner is a very healthy, respectful amount of time. So in our morning meeting, they were like, well, what do you think that they were talking about? I said, well, I think that Kanye, who we long since known, even before Kim, that he refers to, or at least used to refer to Jay-Z as like a brother from another mother type situation. So I think that it was the bros doing their bromance, and I think that I think that the Beyonce was probably disgusted to be there, which is why a restaurant. Which is why a restaurant insider said that Beyonce spent the whole time on her device. Well, wouldn't you? And Kim sat there, oh my God, and laughing. You know, giggling and being charming to everything the boys were talking about. And then at one point during the dinner, Beyonce got up to go to the bathroom, and Kim grabbed her purse and followed her. And one of the restaurant insiders said that Beyonce looked disgusted at this entire situation. Well, I have to tell you, I would be too. First of all, no, come on now. Both, I'm sure, very lovely women separately. But you can't force people to be friends. And a 2-hour dinner is a long time. Kim and Beyonce do have stuff in common if they chose to communicate like civilized people, just to fake it so that we wouldn't know that nobody wanted to be there. For instance, they could talk about clothing. They both love clothes. They both are makeup girls and very beautiful girls. They both have new babies. They both have hot moms. So, you know, does your mom borrow your clothes? Yeah, mine does. They have pop. No, I'm serious. Listen, an effective communicator can talk to anybody about something for a period of required time. That's all I'm saying.
But I know, in my mind, Beyonce's probably worried that Kim will put everything out on social media. Like, if Kim says, I'm no longer into Karl Lagerfeld at Chanel, you know, I really happen to enjoy this particular designer. I could see Kim being the one to post, guess what Beyonce just told me? Even though it's not like a lightning rod statement, but it's just, you know, anything to prove that they're friendly. Quite frankly, I think that the boys should have gone out and met themselves and not made the girls suffer and be there. When the show was over, I'm not one for big talking, because I always feel like, if this was our situation, I think my husband would understand, just go out with your dude. Like, I really don't want to sit with, I'm sure she's a very nice girlfriend, but I really don't want to sit with her because we don't do the same thing, and I feel like I'm always on an uneven playing field because I share so much with you here on this show that when we get off the show, I really am talked out for the day. What? I'd be like Beyonce, I'd be on my device. Solange, while she loves her big sister Beyonce, she doesn't seem to be a fan of all the attention that Beyonce gets when they're just trying to have sister time. Now, Beyonce and Solange, they took their kids to the park. Now, it wasn't just any park, it was Griffith Park in LA. Now, I've never been to Griffith Park. I'm not really a park person. Confidentially speaking, I'm not really a nature person. So the idea that the boy is old enough now where I don't have to take him to that place with the grass and the squirrels running around, I mean, I love that. Like, we do things indoors now. But, you know, just because you're a mom doesn't mean you have to go along with everything that moms do. Like, you understand? Like, and I've shared this with you before. I used to feel guilty about some of my non-momish ways. Like going to the park or going to see like Shrek. And those movies. Ooh, glad those years are over. Anyway, Solange and Beyonce, they took their kids to the park. That's Miss Tina, their mom, here in the light blue. And apparently Solange spots the paparazzi, and this is Daniel, Solange's son. But Solange doesn't seem happy about seeing the paparazzi. Here's a closer shot. And then Solange later tweeted, man, we should have gone to the movies. I wanted those paps to burn. Well, I understand what she's saying. It's kind of, I mean, you know, if your sister is Beyonce, it's got to be a real intrusion, anything that you do with her, because everything attracts attention that you don't necessarily want when you want time with your sister and your children. Do you understand what I mean? I remember reading years ago that Oprah said that there is nothing that she can't do being famous that she couldn't do before fame. And I venture to say, oh, sure, you can do everything you want, but what kind of interruption and intrusion do you get? Annoying, right? Like, if my sister were Beyonce, I'd be really proud of her, but I think that I'd have to see her under conditions. And the conditions would be, I'm coming over, but we're not gonna order pizza, so, you know, somebody shows up at the door. I don't wanna go out to the mall. I don't wanna go to the park. Let's build a park in the backyard. Let's just stay in the house and bond with the kids, and, you know, and then somebody in our morning Hot Topics meeting said, well, you know, Wendy, if I was like Brad Pitt and I had two brothers and my two brothers loved the rock band Rush. One of our hetero white staffers said this, okay? But on account of I graduated from Ocean Township High School, I know exactly who Rush is. So, you know, and I have two brothers, and my two brothers love Rush. I would love to get us 3 tickets and take them to the Rush concert, because I'm thinking, you know, while Rush is on stage, nobody's paying attention to me as Brad Pitt. I said, you're delusional, Brad Pitt. Everybody's paying attention to you. You're standing right there. What I think that I would do, you know, like if I was Beyonce, I would buy stuff like tickets for my brother to go to the Rush concert, get them a car service, and arrange for them to go backstage and meet Rush. But then I would meet them at a bar on the other side of town later on. Like, I wouldn't want to intrude. Like, being this famous is intrusive. Guadalupe, does that make sense? Yeah. What'd you say, Guadalupe?
I said, I know exactly how she feels because that look on her face, I've had it plenty of times.
You have your daughter, Linda.
Yeah, and I have Linda also.
And Linda is not as famous as Jennifer.
Yeah, but pretty much. I mean, when I go out with her too, you know, it's intrusive too.
Yes.
It's very intrusive. And,
Yes.
and you feel like all I want to do is spend a little time by myself just having normal conversation, and you can't.
Yes.
It's awful. It's awful.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing.
Yes.
So I know exactly how she
Thank
feels.
you, Guadalupe. Thank you. I hope you're doing fabulous today as well. Hi. Okay. That Kanye rant about Beck shouldn't have won the Grammy. Well, first of all, shout out to all my Facebook friends and shout out to the studio audience that was here yesterday. Because the studio audience had no idea, if you watched the show, they had no idea who Beck was. I don't know who Beck is. I got, millions of Facebook people. Half of them knew who Beck was, the other half didn't. And this is what I say about music. Like, if I turn on Elvis Duran and it's not something that Elvis is playing, then I don't know what you're talking about, in a lot of cases. Or if it's not on a mixtape. And obviously, Beck is not mixtape-ish. So Kanye's getting tons of backlash for interrupting Beck at the Grammys. He was slammed. People were saying that because he said that Beck should give up his Album of the Year award to Beyonce. First of all, I'm not giving up nothing. People are saying that Kanye should apologize to Beck and the Grammys. Well, I think that what Kanye is doing is, first of all, he's putting too much weight in awards. How many people in this audience deserve an award but never got one? Me too! Does getting an award make you any less fabulous or more fabulous? No. No. It's just another damn thing to dust on our day off. I mean, awards are nice, but Kanye, what you're doing right now is you are acting like a child, which is just another day in Kanye's life. Apparently, this Beck has been around for 20 years. I don't know where I've been. But he's been around for 20 years. The Grammy committee, they're the ones who vote for who should win the Grammy. So in other words, Kanye, they will continue to nominate you because they like your crazy behind in the audience. But it'll be probably a cold day before you ever win another Grammy. Like, really? And people say Kanye's a musical genius. I think that there's a wall that you hit with genius, and once you get to the other side of the wall, it's... Exactly. Ticky, ticky, boom, boom. And that's you, Kanye. You're very entertaining, and you know what? I'm kind of over covering Kanye rants. I mean, I do it now because I know you guys want to know, but I'm over it. He's the one person that I can think of off the top of my head that I just give him a pass. Anything that comes out of his mouth, it's not even stunning or surprising anymore. It's certifiable-ish. And Beyonce's Beehives. Listen, first of all, let me just say, Beyonce had 17 Grammys before Sunday night. She picked up 3 that night. Now she's got 20 Grammys. Beyonce is doing just fine without Beck's Grammy or your mouth, Kanye. Number one. Number two, I will remind you again that awards don't mean a lot. We all thought Tom Cruise had an Oscar. He's never gotten an Oscar. No. If I never get a daytime Emmy, it would not make me any less of a host to you, would it?
Don't worry, daytime Emmy people, I'm not holding my breath. Look, Esperanza Spalding, remember her? Where's she at? First of all, I didn't know her before she picked up Best New Artist in 2011, and I haven't heard from her since, and I still don't know what music she does. Do you know who that is? No. Do you remember when she won? No. Do you remember saying, who is this? Yes. Hello, Kanye. And by the way, the woman with the most Grammys in all of Grammy history, do you know who it is? No. Well, that's what I'm here to tell you. Alison Krauss. 27 Grammys and we still don't know who she is. I mean, I know who she is. I know who she is because I went to a little an event. Kenny Rogers and Dolly and Allison was there and I met her, but I did not know. Hi, Allison. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I only thought that you were a singer up there in the Foxwoods. I didn't know that you're the most Grammy'd woman ever. Look, I'm not here to cause trouble. I'm just here to state my case and then go back to Jersey. That's it. And you know the Beehives are on the swarm. Because Beyonce's super fans. They feel that Beyonce should have gotten that Grammy, and they're also saying, who is Beck? Relax, Beehives. I would imagine the average age of a Beehive is probably about 19. No older than 21. Higher than that? Wow. Well, listen. The Beehives have started a petition. This is what I'm saying. To strip Beck of his Grammy. No, it gets worse. The Beehives hacked Beck's Wikipedia page and changed some of his things. They called him a stealer and a thief from hell. That's why I was assuming the average age is 19, because most of us have a job and have bills to pay. We don't have time. Okay? Most of us don't have time in the day to figure out who Beck is or do a hackalation on a page and swarm at people. Beyonce, I think that you should stay out of this. I mean, in our Hot Topics meeting this morning, there were a bunch of my producers who were saying, you, Beyonce, have an obligation to talk to your Beehive and tell them, call them back to the hive. But that's not my thought, because it has been known that the bees sometimes turn on their queen. So you don't want the hive swarming on you, Beyonce. So I say, shh, but I've rigged something. I think that you should probably do this. Go on social media and just type something in that Beck deserved to win. I'm proud of my 20 Grammys. Exclamation, sideways smiley face. That's it. Oh gosh, I so don't believe this story, but I'm gonna do it for you, okay? Jay-Z and Beyonce were fighting at the sushi restaurant. Is what people are saying. Now, she could be saying, this sandwich, this sushi is so good. I mean, and she's been drinking. They were in a sushi restaurant in LA, and this is one picture, and then there's another picture where people are like, well, he does seem to be paying more attention to her than, or to his phone than her, and some people were saying that it was Rihanna on the line. Well, now hold on. First of all, how do you know it was Rihanna on the line, number one? Okay? Not that I don't think Rihanna and Jay-Z in my mind aren't friends. I'm just saying. He's not talking to Rihanna, and you wanna know what? What's Gwyneth Paltrow doing there? Look, and the bottle is gone, so at this particular point, she's turned up. I don't think that they're fighting, honestly. I just feel like in that first picture, a picture is 1,000 words. And you could be making a point, you know, like, we're business partners in my family, you know? And when we go out, we talk school stuff about little Kev. We talk stuff that, you know, I'm doing at the house. But we, you know, like, you know how much he charged me, Kevin? Or whatever. I don't think that they were publicly fighting. I mean, I don't. And also, there's this syndrome. It's called bitchy resting face. Wait, bitchy resting face syndrome. You've heard of that? It wasn't. That's you. You have bitchy resting face. Well, no. Look at the camera. I want to look at you. Well, now you're smart. Oh yeah, you look pissed. Yeah. Wait. Do it again. Ellie missed you. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? Bitchy resting face syndrome is a real syndrome. It was invented on the internet, and you need to know about this. What it is, you ever see somebody who, they always look pissed? Like, she might have inherited it from her mom. No disrespect. Now, right here, she's on the red carpet at the Angel Ball. You know, the Angel Ball, everybody was inside. Jamie Foxx, everybody goes to the Angel Ball. Why are you giving us that? Because she can't help it. I have got more proof. Take a look. And this was at Solange's wedding. And there she is again, at the airport, putting her stuff on the conveyor belt. So it is a real syndrome. Maybe Beyonce has that. I have no idea. Hopefully, they weren't fighting, though. Although that's good for our business. Look, your man is all up on you in this audience. I'm loving it. Lady in the black and man in the burgundy. He is all up on you. Yeah. As a side note, Beyonce and Jay-Z are reportedly relocating to Los Angeles. But then go. You know, as a New York, New Jersey native, I respect every place in the world, wherever you happen to be living and watching, but there's no place, and I mean no place better than New York City surrounding areas. I'm sorry. I mean... So, shocking news we all heard over the weekend. Baby Blue Ivy might have a secret brother. Yay! And he's 21. And his name is Ramir. All right, everybody relax, okay? Just relax. I don't think that there's a story here. Everything seems fishy about this, but like we say, there's 3 sides to every story. Here's the boy. He looks more like Usher than Jay-Z. Do you think he looks like J Clap? Do you think he looks like Usher Clap? All right, well, here's the skinny. The boy is 21. He lives in South Jersey. His name is Ramir, and he's suing Jay-Z to force Jay-Z to take a paternity test. Well, I was watching the ID channel over the weekend. And you know, the cops needed DNA from a bad guy who was raping girls. And so what they did, the man would not go in and take the test. He wasn't forced to take the DNA test. So the cops got smart. They were like, you know, I'm coming over to your house for lunch. The cop had like a Mickey D's bag or something like that, and a cup with a straw in it. All he needed the bad guy to do was just take a sip from the straw. Did you see that one? Were you watching? You saw it too? It was good, right? It was real clever. We love the ID channel here at Wendy. So, I'm thinking. All right, so anyway, back to the boy and the origin. Apparently there's this woman and her name is Wanda. And Wanda and Jay-Z hooked up in 1994. And at that time, Wanda apparently was also hooking up with
somebody else. Don't judge. Anyway, hooking up with somebody else. So then the woman thought that the somebody else was the father, so the man had been paying the child support and supporting this boy all these years. Well, now that the boy is 21 years old, he is taking it upon himself to reopen the case because the DNA came back recently that the man is actually not the father. So according to Wanda, then I guess the father is Jay-Z. I don't know what to say except for perhaps taking the DNA test would be the best thing. In our morning meeting, some of my staffers were saying, no, well, because then that just opens up the door for everybody to be throwing paternity suits to everybody. Your man, your man, your man, and DNA tests to be flying every place. But you know what? The easiest way to shut this down, I mean, it was the front page of the newspaper here in New York on Friday. This story is so juicy, it's not even a part of the entertainment report. You know how every newscast has the entertainment report? It's part of the regular news. Yes. And I'm sure this is causing marital problems to what they say is an already strained marriage. You know, it's not that he cheated on Beyonce to have this boy. I mean, wasn't that back during the big pimpin' days? Okay. I mean, you know, he was becoming well, 1994, somewhere around there. Anyway, I'm not saying that it's right. All I'm saying is, yes, he was probably dipping his stick in a lot of places at that particular time. And maybe this boy is his and maybe it's not. If it's his, doesn't mean he ran out on the boy. It means that this is all coming to light, I guess, for all of us and him. So you'll owe 18 years of back child support. And fortunately, you have the money to pay it, Jay-Z. That'll be one less thing that you and Beyonce fight about. Because I was reading, like, in the magazines, you know, she's saying, or they're saying that if this is true, then their marriage is over. But this would have been a mistake that he did not know about. You know? Anyway, Ramir has a fundraising site. Well, so far, he's raised $50. The boy needs sneaker money and college tuition. And by the way, yes, he wants to be a rapper. This is a very, very fishy story, but I can tell you one thing. $50 was on there from last night, and we checked this morning, and it's still the same 50. After the show, I think, do we want to donate? Maybe? A mind is a terrible thing to waste. All right, clap if you think that this story is so fishy it needs to go away. And you know, I love a good scandalous paternity story, but Ramir, sit down. Really. So, Jay-Z and Beyonce have moved to LA, but it turns out to be something of a disaster. Well, according to my family at Life and Style magazine, Beyonce loves living in LA, loves it. From what I gathered, and we gathered at Hot Topics, one of the reasons that she wanted to move out there is because she's aggressively pursuing an acting career. And we all know that that's where all the studios and things are, and so that's where they are. And we know, baby Blue Ivy is in school, and she gets escorted by a motorcade and security guards. And, but the one person that hates LA is Jay-Z. He wants to move back to New York. Now, well, listen. I thought it was weird that they were moving out there to begin with because I think of them as such a New York, well, not really her. I think of her as Houston. But now that she's with him and he's so New York, he did our anthem, for God's sakes. He owns our team. He did our anthem, although I hear Tidal is not doing good. Yeah. That's not what this story's about. It's odd to have them as residents of LA. I mean, to go out there and visit and, do a quick project, but they're, to me, he's New York, and because she's with him, she's New York as well. They should have been united on the decision to move out there to begin with. I mean, first of all, it's impossible to be a celebrity out there because the paparazzi are every place. Everybody's all up in your business for everything. And shout out to all my friends and people in LA. I am a New York girl. Not for nothing. You go to LA for a week and you realize, oh, this is nice, it's beautiful. Everybody's car stays clean because they don't have potholes and snow. So everybody's car is clean and the weather is gorgeous and the furniture shopping is out of this world. And you know what I also like? As opposed to the gritty, dirty city where you have to use parking garages and you get over to the side of the street, parking rules suspended in all 5 boroughs and all that other mess. You know how it is here in New York. Out there, you can pull up to your favorite boutique and sit right there at the sidewalk. I don't even believe they have meters. Yeah, you just pull up and park, and everybody's nice and nice. And, but after being out there for a week, I start to become of the people, which means simply, my LA people, you all are so laid back and chill. You know, we'll get to it when we get to it. Like, you know, after you grow up in metropolis, tri-state area here, we're used to a different pace in life. Like, for instance, it's a lot easier being a celebrity here because nobody cares about you. You know, it is a lot easier once you get used to the fast-paced life of the city. I don't care whether you're a taxi driver or, you know, working at Smith Barney or something like that. Once you get to the fast pace, you really just don't understand people who are so slow and chill, you know? And I think that, you know, Beyonce's got the bigger career than Jay-Z. I mean, you know, if you have to say one or the other, she's got the bigger career than Jay-Z. And certainly you know what, this is a rich people's problem. Because quite frankly, look, quite frankly, when you are as global of a powerhouse as these two together, you don't really live any place. The world is your residence. That's all. The Beehives are on the swarm. But aren't they always? Like, you can't say one thing about Beyonce without the Beehives. Those are her super fans, for those of you who don't know. They're attacking Rita Ora, but look. No, well, you like that? Okay. Back to Rita Ora and the Beehive. So, look, pictures have surfaced of Rita Ora hugging Jay-Z from behind. Now, see, a hug is not just a hug, everybody. I venture to say a hug from behind is way more intimate than a hug from the front. Because even as a married woman, you know, you can go up and give a man a hug and give him a kiss on 2 cheeks and your husband's standing right there, but you know to create separation. Don't linger, don't stare him in the eye too much, whatever. But a hug from the back, me and Suzanne both agreed. Absolutely. Like, that is and she's all short, so she's up in his neck breath.
Yeah.
And grabbing him. Yeah. And so this was after the Met Ball. Clap if you think that a back hug is too intimate. And I don't, you know, I give young people a pass for a few things, but I don't give you all a pass when it comes to certain things like flirty, because you all are out there doing the most, okay? You know exactly, Rita Ora knew exactly what she was doing, and it apparently pissed the Beehive off. I'm sure, you know, Beyonce might stay peeved because women come around him and they don't know how to act, and as opposed to swatting them, you know, like he should have taken her face and threw it over, you know what I'm saying? Like stop. That's what, like, when you're married, you have to have your SWAT game up. Don't you? You gotta SWAT. Anyway, Beehive, calm down. Although you do have the right to be on the swarm. Rita Ora, please don't clap back at them. You know they will sting you. All right, so now look. So the Beehive needs a life. I am sorry. What is, you know, we're fans of Beyonce. People love Beyonce, but Beehives, you know, they're the super fans, the ones that don't have a life. It almost seems without Beyonce saying the life you should live. So they're on attack because Beyonce promised to make a huge announcement on Good Morning America yesterday. Take a look at the dramatic ad, and then we'll talk.
Beyonce has something amazing she wants you to know.
This is something I have to share with everyone.
So what is it? You're gonna love it. Tomorrow on Good Morning America.
Okay, so I I saw the ad, I didn't know what it was. I said, maybe, well, she's pregnant. I know you might have been thinking the same thing. Or maybe she has a new album coming out, right? Or maybe she's going on world tour. But no, as we know now, the announcement is a 21-day vegan diet. I must say, you know, my Hot Topics team, they follow Beyonce on social media, and there were a lot of her Beehive saying, wait a minute, we took off from school? No, really, this is what people do. We took off from school for this announcement. We arrived late to work, even my own Hot Topics team. Those are just 2 of them. There's 6 more up in the ceiling. Anyway, look, all 8 of them delayed morning meeting to watch. I'm like, where is everybody? Where is everybody? They're like, they're watching Beyonce. So they were disappointed. I guess you were disappointed. I wasn't disappointed. First of all, this is not Beyonce's fault, okay? This is the fault of my friends at Good Morning America. However, to no TV and even radio, the art of the tease is everything. You want to tease the heck out of something so everybody is watching. Unfortunately, in the media, that's what we do. And Beyonce is powerful enough, though, that her team should have been the people who gave the final thumbs up on the tease. Now, maybe they were, and maybe they were fine with this deceptive tease. Personally speaking, I feel like the tease was way too much because it did... Okay. But ultimately speaking, Beyonce is just the artist. No matter what you might think, don't be mad at Beyonce, be mad at Good Morning America and maybe Beyonce's team who might have sanctioned this promo. You know what I'm saying? And as far as a vegan diet, you know, that's where you don't eat the meat. You don't eat anything with a mother. And googly eyes, which, you know, never in my life would I ever think I was one of those people. No offense, because, you know, I'm a foodie. But right now, I am almost 2 weeks into a 30-day cleanse. Not ooh. This is water, not tea. I would love a pork chop to use as a stirrer, okay? But me and my whole family are doing it, and I have to say, it doesn't mean, like her Beehive fans were calling out, well, wait a minute, you're the ambassador of Popeye's fried chicken. Like, you've got a gold card. You ate, they've shown several pictures of Beyonce, you know, eating regular food like cheeseburgers and steak and, you know, stuff like that. But I'm like, okay, she said a 22 or 21-day cleanse. She didn't say a way of life. When my 30 days is over, okay. I had walnuts and kale for breakfast. And no, hot sauce is not part of the diet. It's not a diet. Every once in a while, though, you guys, it is good to press the reset button on your body. Whether it's that you're dieting or you're just totally juicing or you're cleansing, every once in a while. And then when you go back to your regular life, you never really fully go back. There are always things that you learn from your cleanse that, so I don't mind that Beyonce teased us like this. I'm not a Beehive, nor, you know, do I care about her delivery service for vegan food. But if you do, then understand that, are you still upset that she teased you like that? Yes. Well, look, okay, clap if you're over it. Okay.
So, there's one person who really wants Destiny's Child to get back together. Can you guess who? Matthew Knowles, Beyonce's dad. Well, Matthew still has rights to the group, so he still gets money off that. And you know, if record serves me correctly, he could use a few extra coins. So yes, so he wants them to get back together. I would like them to get back together, but only for 3 months, like during the summer. You know, from like June to September, like a really cute tour. Beyonce can pick maybe 25 cities around the world, the majority of them being here in the U.S. Right? And, you know, it's not like Justin Timberlake getting back together with NSYNC, because NSYNC is not NSYNC. You know what I mean? Destiny's Child is NSYNC. These girls are still all great friends. Michelle needs something to do. I'm sure Kelly, listen, you remember after you gave birth, you see, even though you love being a mom, didn't you secretly want some adult fun? And baby Titan is probably, you know, very lovable, but if she could go away for 3 months and bring him on the road, but just have her main girls with her, that'd be great. The only thing I don't like about this is that if they go on tour, then Matthew gets a piece of the action. And I don't like him on account of he tipped out on Tina and then had 2 babies with 2 different babies' mother, one of which can do a full split. Show the picture. I love Hot Topics. Oh my God. And so I want them to get back together because it'd be great for us. We could buy tickets, but I want Beyonce to keep her solo career and swear to the girls, this is not a get-togetheration for permanation. This is only 3 months in 25 cities. Get into it, girls. You know what I mean? But to get back at Matthew, I would sell the tickets for like $10 a piece. Like, Michelle and Kelly could use a nice percentage, but Beyonce can write that check because she's a boss. Write the girls a check. Just sell the tickets for $10 a piece so your father doesn't get a lot. And Beyonce can use a break too, because the streets have been talking. Maybe there's a lot going on at home. Maybe with her husband Jay-Z, if you know what if you're in the grocery line as much as I am and you read stuff. You know? So, in conclusion, whatever.
Who wants to be like Beyonce? Well, now you can.
Okay, so Beyonce's father, a friend of Jason's.
I don't even know how that relationship started. Like, Beyonce's dad watches our show, and when we talk about, you know, Knowles issues, then Beyonce's dad got Jason's telephone number and talks to Jason, the white one, and literally like, it's Matthew, Jason, like that, or it's Matthew, Jason. So anyway, expect a phone call, I guess. Beyonce's dad, Matthew Knowles, is holding a 1-day Beyonce boot camp for aspiring stars. General admission, $199. For $299, you get to have a private lunch with him and take a photo. Okay, be very clear. Be very, very clear. You know, some of the people that we love the most would never be who they were if their parents didn't sacrifice. Now, you can say what you want about Matthew Knowles. You can say he's shiny. You could say he needs pressed powder. But one thing you can't say is whether Beyonce would be famous or not if it weren't for Matthew Knowles sacrificing. Now, Now, Matthew, my Jason works all day along with everyone else here, so please don't worry him to death with your phone calls. Unless you're gonna add some more juice to the story. Yeah. But for this particular story, I'm on Team Matthew. Here's, you know, so we get into this whole big fight. I'm the only one on my side. Everybody else is arguing in my office. So, well, he's using her. I said, no, he's not. That's what kids are there for. Like, if you have a kid who you have sacrificed for, who then goes on and becomes famous, that is a parent's right. Why do you think we have kids? Yeah. You know what I mean? You know, some kids turn out bummy. Parents are ashamed, don't want to say a word. But every once in a while, you have a kid who's a thoroughbred. That would be Beyonce. And you know, I realized that Beyonce tipped out on his wife, Tina, and had 2 kids simultaneously with 2 different women, one who does a mean split. That's... But that's not the point. Sometimes things happen in marriages, but I'm talking about him as a father. You know, Beyonce grew up very solid middle class. She didn't grow up like in the projects or something like that. Beyonce's father had a very nice 6-figure job at a pharmaceutical... Xerox. He was at Xerox and drove a Jaguar. And she was raised in a detached house. Not that that makes a difference, because you know I love a condo, but I'm just saying. She was raised in a detached house, and her mom, Tina, had a hair salon. So in other words, she was raised in a fully functioning, solid middle-class household. And then it was the parents who gave up what they were doing on a regular basis to drive Beyonce to singing lessons and whatnot. It was Matthew who made Beyonce and the other girls get on the treadmill and learn how to run in heels on a treadmill. How do you think she fell down that flight of stairs during her concert and got up quickly, like it was nothing? Now, you can say a lot about Matthew, but that's Matthew's work. Okay, Beyonce is just maintaining the foundation that Matthew has already laid down. So, if Matthew wants to have a Beyonce boot camp, I'm all for it. And all for it. And furthermore, for those of you who are going, spring for the $299 packet, okay? Because Matthew's always looking for new talent, and you never know how many people are going to actually be in the lunch. Maybe it's only you and maybe 10 other girls. But you don't know. Like, if I grew up in Dobbs Ferry, New York, you know, or like a random place, you know, Bridgeport, Connecticut, or Ocean Township, New Jersey, and I want to be a star, and I want to sing, this would be what I'd be begging my parents to do. Take me to the Beyonce boot camp. Let me meet this man. But guess whose marriage might not be all that you think that it is? Jay-Z and Beyonce? Look, don't throw tomatoes at me. This is according to the National Enquirer. They say that Jay-Z and Beyonce are on the brink of divorce. And they have been for a moment now. It's being reported that this is a business relationship. Now, I refuse to believe that it started out this way. I believe that in the beginning, they were in love, like 2 people fall in love, and then you get married, and then maybe sometimes, and I'm not suggesting that this is them, but I'm just trying to look at both sides of the coin. Sometimes when business gets so big and you got 2 stars in the family and they're competing with one another, sometimes it becomes about staying together so that we, John Q. Public, think that everything's perfect. Personally speaking, I think that once they got invited to the White House and became friends with the Obamas, and then she sang in that pretty dress,
and then, you know, he started playing hoops with Barack in the backyard. There all of a sudden becomes a lot of pressure to stay together, not just for a couple, but on account of, you know, a black couple, you know, to stay together and be representative in a positive way. But people are also saying that they're staying together for the purpose of Blue Ivy. Yeah, plus the reputation. I don't know. What do you think? I don't know what to think. I do, in my mind, believe that Beyonce is very controlling regarding her image. Like, very controlling. Personally speaking, if I wasn't happy, divorce is there for a reason, honey. Okay? I mean, you know, you fight it out and you talk it out and scream it out until you can't anymore. But after a while, something's got to give, you know? I think that if what is going on is that she, you know, when they got married, they were probably equal. But then all of a sudden, she's become this bigger star, and he's become the older man. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a way like maybe he's the one who needs to pull back now and be like what they call the Mac in the back. Tell me you're not up on the 70s movie, The Mac. Okay? That was some big pimping. Anyway, look, but I think that he should be like the one in the back. Like maybe they have a string of strip malls and, you know, fast food joints and, you know, his title company and whatnot, and let her be the showgirl or something. Also, you know, we've talked about this before. She's not the best speaker. Are there any English teachers in the audience? Well, I'm sure some are watching. Okay, Beyonce is not the best speaker. And how she speaks with us is not through speaking, but through her Instagram. And her Instagram is very personal. You know, pictures of the little girl, and pictures of her and the little girl, and pictures of her and Jay-Z. But people are saying that even these pictures are all staged, like with she and Jay-Z. And I can tell you, you know, if publicists, damn it, man. Publicists are always asking for celebrities to take pictures with their loved ones and their spouses, and always trying to get like magazines up in your house to take pictures and all in your life, you know. And I am not a Jay-Z and Beyonce, but I can tell you right now, no means no. And that's why a lot of you all ask on Facebook, well, where is he? He's in the back. Like making business happen, and I'm the showgirl in the front. I don't know. I hope it's not over. I hope it's not all a fake. But you know, it was in the Inquirer. I found it interesting, so I wanted to share with you. That's all.
Beyonce. I can't wait to read this unauthorized biography about you. Yes, that's the cover, and it hits shelves in bookstores next week. Now, to me, here's why it's going to be juicy. Because it's being written by J. Randy Tamborelli. Now, if you know, or Tamborelli, tambourine. Look, J. Randy has been writing unauthorized books about celebrities for decades. He is a legend in the unauthorized digging up the dirt column. And so the idea that he's the one writing this book is juicy. A couple of the highlights from the book include, they say someone on Rihanna's team allegedly made up the Jay-Z and Rihanna hookup to boost Rihanna's career. Well, Jay, I don't believe that. I believe there could have
a hookation. Anyway, but they say that was all made up and that then it went to Beyonce's head and Beyonce got pissed about it, and allegedly the night of the elevator attack, it was sparked because Jay-Z wanted to go to Rihanna's after party after the Met Gala and Beyonce didn't want to go, and then Solange went ham on Jay-Z. This book should be an interesting read. Can you read it for me? Better yet, can you read it to me?
512 pages.
Anyway, look, everybody, on a side note, Beyonce was caught snapping a stop at her stylist on the red carpet. Did you see that? Okay, so the stylist is fussing and just messing around. Do we have it? Roll it.
Right here, queen. Right here, queen.
There we go. Be this way.
Right here, queen. Right here, queen.
There we go. Be this way.
I can identify to a certain extent. Well, watch what happens during commercials. No, Memsor comes out and he'll be fussing and stuff, but if my boob was hanging out, I would definitely want him to, tuck me back in. So now, guess who's jealous of Adele? Beyonce. According to In Touch magazine, Beyonce feels overshadowed by Adele and knows that she can't compete. Well, here's my thought. You don't have to compete. Adele is great, and you're great. Listen. Hot. I don't like that we know this story. I wish that Beyonce would have kept these thoughts in her head as opposed to talking with her friends about it or maybe her husband, and then somebody leaked it to In Touch. And so now we know. First of all, Beyonce, the most disturbing thing is I can see the differentiation between your natural hair and your ponytail. That's not shade, that's real. Like, as a hair girl, full wig, you know the difference. Right about here is where the wig starts. Right about here. Do you see what I'm saying? Anyway, Beyonce, you've worked so hard and your image is different from Adele. Adele is more to me like, Susan Boyle. A younger version. But, a really... Can we talk without laughing? I'm talking about the talent. Adele is the voice. And Adele does not have to lose, 50 pounds to impress us. And Adele is just a beautiful, gorgeous, regular woman that we can all relate to. Like a real body. Adele has a live-in lover and a brand new baby. And Beyonce's got a husband and the Blue Ivy baby. And that's terrific, but let's compare them both and then we'll continue talking. Can you all please stop laughing about this? Can I just get through this story? Okay. No, because I'm serious. Adele has 10 Grammys, an Academy Award, and a Golden Globe. And that's for three albums. Five albums.
Plus, yeah.
Beyonce has 17 Grammys. Adele's net worth is $75 million. And Beyonce's net worth is $450 million.
Well, after the first 50 million, isn't it all the same? Like, really? You know, Adele is a wonderful singer, and I love Hella. And, you know, the other stuff off her album. But Adele, to me, couldn't hold Vegas. You know, when you're in Vegas, you gotta shimmy and shake. You know, you have to have like beads on your costume and a snatched waist and be all like, you know. I just feel like they're in two different leagues, and I don't want Beyonce to be upset with Adele's success, which, yes, Beyonce, she is out succeeding you right now. But in the long haul, you will go on to Vegas and you will be part of the lexicon of great entertainers until forever. I don't know what Adele will do. You know, a part of being an entertainer is more than just being able to sing, hello. You know, you've got to shimmy and shake. Do you understand what I mean? So, Beyonce, cut it out. Don't let us know that you're scared of Adele, even though right now Adele is hotter than you. But that won't last for... That's all. Everyone's talking about how people are furious at Beyonce's Super Bowl halftime performance. And that yesterday here in New York, today is Wednesday, it was Tuesday, they planned a huge protest. Well, guess how huge it was? All three people showed up. So look. First of all, yesterday it was beautiful in New York, like 56 degrees. And yes, it was raining, but I'd rather have the rain than the cold. So there's no excuse for protesting if you really say you love the Beehive. All right? There are 3 cops here. The whole NYPD is on alert. They got the barriers. They're expecting a stampede based on what you all talk about how you love your girl on the gram. Anyway, instead of a bunch of supporters, apparently it was filled with a bunch of reporters, correct? Reporters, because reporters were on alert, like, oh my gosh, the Beehive is swarming. People were supposed to protest her halftime show, but then her Beehive was supposed to protest the protesters. Do you understand what I mean? So there were supposed to be 2 separate protests going on at one time. But there's nothing here but video cameras, regular cameras, and reporters. And like 3... Beyonce, you need to have a conference call with the Beehive today, okay? Because this is laughable. Like, if they say that they love you, they were supposed to show you support. You know, this turned out the exact way I told you yesterday morning. Didn't I tell you? Nobody's showing up for this.
Right.
Like, really? People have other things to do. I mean, not the Beehive. They only have to worship their queen. But most people have other things to do than protest an entitled pop star. Next. So let's talk about Rihanna. Yeah. Have you seen her on the cover of the new Vogue magazine? Oh my gosh. Right? So she looks really terrific, and inside the magazine, she addresses a lot of stuff, including the rumors of she and Beyonce not getting along, feuding. Basically, what she says is that the media wants rivalries, and she claims that there isn't one. Now, see, I don't believe that.
And I'll tell you who I think rivals more with I think that Beyonce rivals more in her mind and her plotations than Rihanna. Rihanna, all right, let me just explain what I mean. Because after I told it in our morning meeting, they totally got what I was saying. They're like, you're right. Well, Beyonce's the older one. Not that old is old, but you know what I'm saying. Beyonce's the older one. She's also the one at this particular time, and there's nothing wrong with having kids, but Beyonce's saddled with, you know, a child, saddled with a husband, saddled with such a controlled career that she could never do half the things that Rihanna has done. And I'm sure that Beyonce loved touring the world with Kelly and, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean that. But, you know, I'm sure she enjoyed touring, but those girls didn't seem like they had the kind of fun that Rihanna's having. And even when Beyonce became a solo artist, everything was still so controlled. My thought about Rihanna, no, I wouldn't want to have a daughter like that because I would never get a night's sleep. And I could not live like that as a younger person, but I really do enjoy that she's having fun with her money. I don't think she's in competition with anybody in her mind, which I love. She just seems very chill, like, okay, Beyonce or Jennifer Lopez or whoever it is, but I am Rihanna and I'm gonna do what I want. In the magazine, she's always on vacation in a yacht, right? I mean, she drinks in front of us, you know, in the picture. She smokes bud in front of us. She has intimate relationships with whoever the hell she wants. And I feel like she's that free spirit that a lot of people really enjoy looking at. So no, Rihanna, I don't think that you're feuding with Beyonce, but I do believe that Beyonce is some sort of feud in a weird kind of way that goes back in the day. Anyway, and so this is what Rihanna says, her only one regret in life. One regret. She says in the Vogue magazine that she's not wearing a bedazzled thong with this dress. Funny. So let's talk about Beyonce and Lemonade. So, I was in the house on Saturday night at 9 o'clock. I have no idea why. Well, I know what I was doing. I was preparing for a brand new episode of Scorn, Love, Kills on the ID channel. That comes on at 10. so I was busy. Anyway, but the Bureau watched and they said it's a visual album featuring brand new music. And there she is with her baseball bat, and apparently it was like a 2-hour situation on the HBO. And the first 45 minutes, you know, the Bureau was not impressed, my Hot Topics Bureau. But then all of a sudden, they were impressed because it seemed like she was playing out lyrics implying Jay-Z cheated, and she said things like he only wanted me, want me when I'm not there. And he better call Becky with the good hair. Well, people are thinking the Becky that he's reporting about, or she's reporting about, is that fashion designer Rachel Roy. The woman who... reportedly was at the center of the elevator fight. And Rachel added fuel to the fire by posting a caption talking about good hair, don't care on her social media. Now, Rachel Roy, why are you even, wow, we just showed the most beautiful co-host of the day. Oh, what, did you see? Oh, you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, yes, yes. Yes.
Yes!
That is how you do it. Anyway, so Rachel Roy, you first of all, you're not this fighting girl unless you're on Beyonce and Jay-Z's payroll and they paid you to mix it up to add, you know, more, I guess, sales for this lemonade. Quite frankly, I wish that Beyonce held off on this whole album until Prince, you know, until this entire weekend kind of blew over. And Beyonce, Bill Cosby, don't get beside yourself, because long after Prince is gone and Beyonce and Jay-Z are still together, we're gonna circle back around and still deal with you. Suzanne, you know how it is.
Yes.
Sometimes people feel that when a big story happens, that you're gonna forget about their story.
Right, we're not forgetting
no,
about
that's
you,
what
Bill.
pen and paper are for. Nope. I take my ginkgo biloba, I remember a lot. We'll be back, Bill Cosby. But back to you, Rachel Roy. All right, so the Beehive attacked Rachel Roy's Wikipedia page. Look, the Beehive says, first of all, they said that she died on April 23rd under a lemonade stand. Occupation, Becky with good hair. What is going on? They're also swarming. Okay, Rachel Roy does sound like the name of Rachel Ray. Okay, my neighbor here in the building. Hey, Rachel. Yeah. Her studio's right below this, so, you know, when I stomp, then she, you know, she gets her broom and hits me back. Anyway. So they're swarming on our neighbor, Rachel Ray. Similar name, but not the same thing. Like, leave this nice white lady alone. Really? But Rachel Ray is no dumbbell. She used the moment for the Beehive to swarm to put out a delicious recipe for lemonade. So good. So good. When your super fans do horrible things, is it your position to stop them on social media? Yes. I think only when it has to do with handicapped people or children. Yes. You know, Beyonce is getting blamed for not controlling her Beehive. Well, her fans attacked Rita Ora. They've attacked Rachel Ray here in the building, and even Rachel Roy. But with Rachel Roy, they're now attacking her two daughters. And the oldest is only 16, and then there's the youngest right there. Like, to me, the kids are kind of off limits. And they were calling Rachel all kind of names. Now, I don't know what the history is between Rachel and Jay-Z. But I will say this. I had no idea that people would stoop so low to attack their children. You know, Ava is the 16-year-old. They attacked her on Instagram and they wrote things like, your mom is a whore. Yes. Yeah, your mom is a whore. You're a thought like your mama. Isn't that terrible? Cute girl though, right? I don't know, between the mom being accused of things and the dad going on that couple show, Wild and Out. Yeah. Who is minding the farm? Like, who? Poor girl. She already has enough going on with her parents without you all attacking her. And Beyonce, I do feel that at this particular point, you do need to say something to the Beehive. And so I know you're not a really good talker, so I'm gonna... So I'm going to offer you a little bit of assistance, dear. Okay. You say something to the Beehives like, look, you guys, since becoming a mother myself and understanding even more the world of bullying and how it really does hurt, not just adults, forget adults, we can deal with it. It hurts kids, it's just not right. Like, you can say what you want to the adults, but just, you guys, please stop buzzing at the kids. I don't know, the Beehive, though, is really dangerous. Like, the second you tell them what to do, they will not be at her concert tonight in Tampa. Because, you know, she's going on world tour. I don't have a hive, but I have my Wendy watchers. Listen. But I'm frightened of you. Like, when you get really nasty, like, I'm not telling my hive what to do.
Right.
Kid Schmidt, I'm not saying a word. But Beyonce, you go ahead and tangle with that Beehive. And we'll be watching what happens. So the Beehive has found its latest victim, and that's Iggy Azalea. Well, you know, in Beyonce's song, Lemonade, she says, Becky with the good hair. And I said earlier this week, Becky is not a nice term. I find it offensive, you know, for you white women to be... No, I do. If you called me Shaniqua, I'd punch you in the face, okay? So don't call, like Becky? She finds it offensive, this Iggy Azalea, and the Beehive swarmed. They said Iggy was calling Beyonce a racist. Which, that's a bit much. Maybe less than smart for using that word, but not a racist. So Iggy then retaliated on Beyonce and the Beehive, and here's what she said. No, I don't think Beyonce is racist, nor do I think calling someone Becky is the same as a racial slur. I don't think it's great to use stereotypical names to describe any race. Wendy Williams made the same point, directed at Beck, and no one cared. It's because they love to hate me. No, I don't think it's because they love to hate you, Iggy. Honestly, I feel like a lot of people don't understand what Becky is, you know? Becky is, to me, a slur against, you know, white women. And if I were you all, I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't.
Today.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you, get out of my head, Suzanne. I was thinking the same thing. You are really white today.
I can't get any whiter.
I love it. So you used a curling iron and everything?
Yes.
Nice, Suzanne.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, Iggy also said, don't call Asian women Ming Lee or black women Shanae. I'm on that page too. Like, wrong. On a side note, Iggy saved her fiance, Nick Young, from making a huge, stupid mistake. Rebel is spelled wrong. Like, first of all, this whole tattoo, the Born, the Rebel, it's an ugly tattoo. But by Rebel being spelled wrong, says duh to the tattoo artist, and double duh to another athlete who oftentimes athletes get stereotyped as being duh. So Iggy stopped him, and they are back together, and Iggy, just don't involve me with the fights, okay? I don't... Beyonce is, again, being accused of stealing. People are claiming that Beyonce stole her Formation tour choreography from another show. Well, we've been digging, and we have the receipts. So take a look at Beyonce's choreography. Now, take a look at the choreography from a show I've never heard of, and maybe you haven't either. But see, that's where you steal from, people who you... You always steal from people nobody knows about. The problem is with the internet is that those people rise to the surface, and then you got nosy people like us who find out about these people, and then we expose it. Look at the choreography from a show called De La Guarda. Caught you, bae. Although I do have to say, how many things do you do with legs? You know, at some particular point, it's not called stealing, it's called, what else am I going to do? So let me do this. Do I think this is stealing? I don't know. Do I know for a fact that big rappers and R&B singers go to Podunk, Nowheresville, USA, and steal from talented kids who only have a pot to piss in, and you think that no one will ever find out you stole from those kids? Yes, I do. You know. Beyonce has been accused of copying before. This is not the first time. Remember the Countdown music video? She was accused of stealing that also. The Single Ladies Dance, she was accusing that. And one of her Lemonade music videos, she's been accused of stealing also. You know what? I didn't invent Hot Topics either. I just do it better. Shade. No, you know. Anyway. In the meantime, the Grammys are 9 months away in February, but experts are already saying that it's a battle between only two people, Adele versus Beyonce. Insiders are saying that they'll be up for the same awards, and they're gonna go head to head. Now, Adele and Beyonce, in my opinion, don't even need to be in the same category because they're both great for two different reasons. I don't like them competing with one another, but okay, let's start. Adele, her pros are that she has her album 25 sold over 8 million copies in 3 months. And Adele focuses on singing, not choreography and you know, twerking and stuff. Which the voters like that because they like a real artiste. Now, Beyonce, her pros are Lemonade is the best reviewed album of 2016. Yeah, it is. And on the album, she doesn't just talk about like, you know, mess with a love life and stuff. It's actually an ode to Black women. And it's different from her last albums. You know, I feel like with Lemonade, she really poured something different from herself and gave to us. But I do think that Adele, Adele has 16 producers and 16 writers. Beyonce has almost 100 producers and writers. I know, it makes you say, well, what do you do? Like, why can't you just get 5 good ones and roll? I don't know, I'm not an artist like that, but I must tell you, I think that Adele will win. And here's why. Beyonce has a whole bunch of Grammys, and so does Adele, but Beyonce has more than her. But I think, well, Adele has 10 for 2 albums, Beyonce has 17 for 5 albums. But this is the year of embracing different body types. And for that reason, in my mind, is why Adele will also win. Not only is she talented vocally, but she doesn't have to wear a nude bodysuit. Like she wears the kind of clothes that you can go to the White House in. Nothing wrong with Beyonce's look, because if I had to go to a concert
it'd be Beyonce, not Adele. But, in terms of embracing, you know, a thicker body, like everybody is not blonde and this big, you know, and twerking and able to dance and stuff. I think that Adele embodies physically the real woman. And her voice is the real deal. I'm not saying Beyonce's is not. All I'm saying is that I think that Adele will win over Beyonce this time around. Clap if you think Beyonce will win. Okay. Clap if you think Adele will win. The Grammys aren't until February, so we'll be following. So the CFDA Fashion Awards were last night. I don't even know what CFDA stands for. What does it stand for? I don't know. Everybody around here is so cool. They just, you know, tell me stuff and I forget to, what the hell?
Council of the Fashion Designers of America.
Okay. Well, I haven't paid my dues, so apparently I'm not a member. All right, well, the big winner last night was Beyonce. Exactly, Suzanne!
Terrible!
Suzanne!
That's terrible!
Let me show you the head to toe.
It's the worst outfit I've ever seen.
Show me. This coming from a woman in a wrinkled blouse and a denim skirt. No, you look cute.
Oh, thank
no,
you.
I do agree with you. This is Givenchy, and I say even the big design houses make mistakes. I don't know. And what is up with the hat and the, like, she won the Fashion Icon Award. So this is your fashion icon, everyone. This is your icon. Now, Beyonce's really great, and I hate when the Beehive gets all stingalicious on me. So before I tell you how I feel about her fashion, let me just remind you that I like Beyonce a lot. She is a supreme performer. Nobody outdances her. Who else knows how to run in 5-inch heels? Who have you ever seen fall down a flight of steps and get right up and continue to dance? I get it, like I get it. She seems to be a good mom. She's still with her man. She's a good daughter. She's back together with Matthew. Okay, is that enough? Okay, now let's go in. I don't know about you. I just don't look to Beyonce for fashion anything. She seems to just, and this is not a bad thing, but you know, in her own time, when you see her walking around the streets and stuff, she just seems to have a hat sitting on the back of her head and, you know, one of these brim hats, and she just throws something on. I love handbags. I've never seen Beyonce rock a handbag where I'm like, oh, I need that. Or a pair of jeans, or some shoes. It seems like she's put together by somebody and then she just goes out. And there's nothing wrong with that because it makes her probably more like me and you than like Rihanna, who, to me, is the fashion icon. But Rihanna won Fashion Icon at this award show in 2014, so they can't give it to her again. And I don't necessarily look to Rihanna, like I don't think that she's in her closet literally picking stuff out. I think that what she is she's a mannequin for designers. You know, sometimes, you know, if you don't have a big behind, you know, and giant boobs and you're, you know, statuesque, they call you up and they put you in something and you're just like, wow, 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 pow, pow, pow. Now I'm going to the club. That's all. I mean, you know, so Beyonce, congratulations. You got that one off. Let me just take a poll before we talk about cute blue ivy. Okay. Clap if you see Beyonce as a fashion icon. Okay. I look at her as a showgirl, and she does it like nobody else, like a showgirl. Razzle dazzle, razzle dazzle. So in the meantime, so when they get to the awards, okay, so the husband's there, the baby girl is there, but this little blue ivy, she stole the show. when Blue arrived to the awards and Daddy was holding her hand, she clearly did. She's like, no, 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 stop. She's not happy. Yes, yes. You trained them early about stuff. I loved it. She was all like, right? She's giving the screw face and everything. I wonder if she and the other one, North, do they ever play together? Do they know each other? Okay, anyway.